Yo, what's up, guys? You got pokeaimMD here. Today, we're going to be giving our thoughts, because I am joined by my boy Blunder, on the current OU metagame. And by that, I mean that there is a new survey that was just put out by the OU Council. And you guys have until Sunday, October 10th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern to actually fill it out yourself. But we'll be going over it, giving our thoughts on it. And, oh, look, my name was actually posted in the following one. That's funny. But we're giving our thoughts on it. So yeah, Blunder's here with me. We got a collab coming soon, so we're getting you guys back into the feel of us being together. And the art for that will look sick. But yeah, so we'll just be going through it. Check out Blunder, subscribe to him. We'll also be having a video for him. I don't know if it's going to be on his channel today or tomorrow, but we're going to be recording a video for him as well. So I'm just going to go through it. Obviously, the ones that I have to answer for me, I'll answer for me, but like my Schmogon username. But on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy the current metagame? Do you enjoy playing it? So this is obviously based on not competitive. This is just, do you enjoy it? I actually have been enjoying the metagame for quite a while.
I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I play so much Mons. Me, CTC, and Swave, we play so much Pokemon.
It's fun right now.
At least, I don't know why though. Like I guess it's just because like it's like back to like how we used to play, just like and chill and talk and shit.
Yeah,
but
and call.
No,
yeah,
we just be playing though.
That's
like,
the thing. That's how I see it too.
I play at least like an hour of Mons a day.
Yeah, this is literally
like
back to our PO days. And I think it's the point where the meta
now.
Yeah,
I guess I have time again.
Yeah, I mean you did graduate, but it's also the fact that like I think the meta has settled to a point where you already know what's the big threats and everything, so you can just use whatever. Like you remember when we did Hita Fajita back in the day? And
sure.
So at that point the metagame was the reason we did that is because we had a whole another year of ORAS. Right? We had a whole another year, an extra year of ORAS. And the metagame had already settled to the point where we could use whatever we wanted. I don't think it's that much to that point, but it almost feels like it, right? Like,
yeah,
I already know what I'm
to
going to fight.
Point, especially because a lot of new mons are like coming out. Like people use crazy stuff. Like you see a lot of the Ultra Beasts now all get usage. You look at stuff like Buzzwole.
I used freaking Polytoad shit in the other day.
All the stuff from Gen 7 that was at the top is now back at the top. Lele, Cart, Coco, you know. Stuff like that. Even mons that like are always like mid tier, stuff like Nidoking comes back to shine.
I see Moltres. I've seen a lot more Moltres.
Yeah, that's a good call. Moltres. All the what's the other one? Zapdos, the fighting version. Yeah, so I think you're right. The metagame has really stabilized, and now people are comfortable using like a whole different amount of mons.
I know. I mean, I get certain comments, dude. I get certain comments from people that say they don't like the meta. But I mean, I guess to the point is like maybe they just don't like seeing Corviknight or whatever. But I mean, that's gonna happen with every metagame.
I don't really ever get like too annoyed looking at a team. Like Stall's annoying, but I feel like I never just like auto lose.
Yeah,
to Stall.
I agree.
I don't know. I feel like it's not that hard to beat.
It's really telegraphed.
It's a
as well.
good
like,
style.
Yeah,
like it's always been, but it's not. I don't know. I feel like there's so much to beat it these days. Knockoff is really broken.
That's the big thing.
Everything.
Yeah.
So much shit runs taunt. Tapu Fini itself has beaten a lot of stall teams one-on-one. A lot of stall is very like one-dimensional. They always have to have Unaware Clefable. Yeah. They'll always have their pecks. Like I feel like it's most teams can shut stall down at like a 2-mon core.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
You gotta play well though.
Yeah, exactly. Like the big thing as well is like you mentioned knockoff. If you manage your knockoffs, for instance, like there's a I play like sometimes when I play Toxapex plus Corviknight, and they both have Shed Shell. Right,
sure.
Shed Shell. I don't think Shed Shell is that great of an item personally, but we'll discuss it when we go to the Magnezone thing, and you can talk about your Ferrothorn and stuff too. But like I'll manage my knockoffs. Like I'll knock off their Corviknight if I have a Weavile, but I won't knock off their Toxapex because I want my Weavile's knockoff to be stronger versus Toxapex when I get +2. So like I feel like it's really like we know what we have to do. We have the tools to beat it. And
for sure.
I mean, I'm also thinking that a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't have Pokemon like Gliscor around right now, which would be damn near impossible to kill with no hidden power. The Pokemon are really bulky, but they're killable.
I agree with that for sure.
The metagame is way better than it was at least like Olive Armor or pre-Olive Armor. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm probably having the most fun. I mean, like I feel like I've enjoyed Gen 8 for
the majority?
For the majority of its lifetime. Yeah, I gotta say, like I don't really have any problems with Gen 8. I had a lot of fun playing this shit.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say 7, 8.
It's just like it's fun. I liked Z moves a lot too when they came out. I thought that was a blast. Like I liked all the gimmicks. I think the moves are really cool too. stuff like Meteor Beam and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
like,
yeah. Meteor Beam probably one of the best things that came from this generation.
yeah, and then like some of the mons are just so ridiculous. I don't know. I am a pretty big Gen 8 fan at this current metagame. We'll see as time goes on what shit changes, and because metagames always change, of course.
Speaking of which, dude, like Slowbro and Slowking, they were everywhere, right? They were everywhere.
Yeah,
and now I still see them occasionally, but usually Galarian Slowking at most, right? But like there was a time where regular Slowking was so popular.
Everybody and their mom had to use Future Sight teleport, and then they paired it with Urshifu Unstoppable combo. That's probably what got Urshifu with the Dark One banned. Because Future Sight plus that shit is so broken. It's OP. You can't beat it. It's like it's unbeatable 2-mon.
I saw you fight that mon.
Core in the game.
I saw you fight that mon in Ubers, by the way, and I was like, damn, this mon is either really good or the team is using.
In my video I was like, oh, I thought it was the water type, and then it came in and I was like, oh, I'm so fucked. I went into Yveltal, and the Wicked Blow did 50%, and I was like, there's no way this thing. I was like, this guy does belong.
You know why I did that much?
Never bring him back.
You know why I did that much? Because your own damn ability as well was buffing it.
Oh,
Dark Aura.
See, I'll be learning something new every day, man. Wow.
Well, that actually, like, I realized that now. I watched the video, I was like, damn, but like I realized, oh yeah, it's its own ability. Okay, so I'd say like 8. Like I put 8 or 9. Like honestly, I think
when I did the survey, I put an 8.
Yeah, I think 8 is nice. On a scale from 1 to 10, how do you find the current metagame? Do you find it competitive? I mean,
I just
DM me what you just DM'd me before, so we're doing this talking video. But that's Pokemon the other day, right?
I feel like it's like I don't know. Pokemon is always like decently competitive. There's always the same shit that makes it uncompetitive. But I don't find this metagame to be less competitive. I don't find anything in this metagame to be like suffocatingly like bad.
Yeah.
I have my idea of what mons are the best, but even then I don't think those mons are auto win. I think some stuff is like annoying. Like the only thing I really get annoyed by is ghost types.
Yeah, because they all Spadef drop. That's the biggest thing. Shadow Ball has Spadef drops, and I mean on top of that, for me, it's Kyurem's Ice Beam freezing me or Freeze Dry freezing me, right?
So that's like the only thing that would be annoying. Like some of the attacks are so strong, but it's not like anything is broken to me.
Yeah.
I think so much that's strong is limited. Stuff like Kyurem, for example. It has 90 base speed and is an ice type.
Yep.
That alone is just like, how could you ever even think?
Yeah, if it's running boots, then it's not strong.
Yeah, if it's running boots, it's like so piss weak. Yeah.
It can barely beat any of the Pokemon.
I'll be getting up 3 spikes on that. Yeah, yeah. Crazy.
Dude, I'll pivot. I'll beat that by pivoting into Toxapex and Slow King. Like, you know, like, like the Pokemon weak to freeze.
You take all their PP, they can freeze you too. It really doesn't matter.
You literally go Pex into Corviknight and take all their PP and do everything.
Yeah. I'm really not a big fan of Sub Roost. I understand where it's good. I think Sub Roost with like a really, really defensive spread can be decent. Yeah. Like I've seen some. I think I played one guy with Kyurem, and it was so spadef that Magma Storm did like 28%.
Bro, I played
like
Sub Roost.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like the fact that it could beat Heatran. I mean, it beats Heatran anyway if it's Sub Roost and another Earth Power. But like
I played one guy's and it lived +2 Sacred Sword from Kartana because he was like Fizzdeath. Like it's pretty cool what you can do.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm pretty sure this is talking about like specs.
Yeah, I think so in general as well. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not technically. Wait, we're not. Well, we're talking about Kyurem because it's Kyurem right there.
My bad. I didn't. That's right. I glossed over that.
I fought Sub Roost Rock Slide Icicle Spear yesterday.
I had a defensive Rock Slide one, but it's just 3 attack Rock Slide. Yeah. But yeah, it was my Vault counter. That shit is not a good Vault counter.
Competitive.
I just missed.
8. Probably like 7, 8. Like,
yeah,
I don't think,
give it 8.
I don't think it's that high. Okay, so this is the one we were discussing for sure. Which statement most accurately describes how you feel about Kyurem and Sword and Shield OU? Kyurem is entirely balanced and no tearing action should take place. Kyurem is generally balanced and I would not support any tearing action. Kyurem is generally unbalanced and I support it being suspect. Kyurem is broken, I support tearing action. I have no current opinion on Kyurem and wish to abstain. So this is interesting, right? Because like we just mentioned, I think Specs is incredibly strong, especially towards balanced builds. Like if you lean towards them slower balances, which I tend to lean towards with videos. But again, we mentioned Sub Roost has its weaknesses. It's weak, right? And then at least Specs, the way you beat it is you get Stealth Rock Chip on it.
Specs also fry stall 6-0.
Yeah, because Focus Blast smash Blissey and
Blissey. Oh yeah, Blissey is what we use nowadays. That thing gets smashed. The only good switch in is AV Slow King, which isn't a good switch in with Rock Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought about that. So that is actually a pretty great bonus. And if Kyurem ever got suspected, that is the sole reason that I would say nope. It will never be banned.
Yes, like, that's exactly what I'm thinking as well. Like, we joke on my channel, I get 6-0 by Kyurem, but like, if I'm using a
I think
defensive
people
team,
overrate. I mean, it's incredibly good. It's one of the best offensive mons.
Yeah.
There's no question. It's a really unique mon. Like I love how this mon always has its time to shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In every metagame, like it had its time in Gen 6, it had its time in Gen 7, and now it's like, well, it's really been on top for most of Gen 8.
the thing with it is that it beats the common defensive Pokemon, period, right?
Like, well, Ice is just broken.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Freeze Dry is such a stupid like.
Yeah,
cheat,
so like
you
being
know?
able to beat the water types, like Tapu Fini would
Yeah.
infinitely wall this mon if it
I
didn't
remember
have
back
Freeze
in the
Dry.
day, we used to run Metronome,
Yep.
and that was really difficult
Back
to beat
when it was
too.
broken.
Yeah, back when it was broken.
But then you'll see, like, I mean, there's still options that are, like, albeit niche, still there. So as you can see on this team from Skip the Drip, I have a Shedinja, which, you know, hard
Yeah.
walls,
Hard
Kyurem, hard walls, or
And then it's
Shifu.
Blissey Andy as a
But I also have
support.
Blizzy, exactly,
Kyurem
so I
will-
still have Blizzy.
Kyurem will
So
never
Kyurem is
defeat
not,
him.
Kyurem is not beating this, right? And if it's sub-roost, I'll sit in there with Shedinja and use all 48 of my Shadow Sneaks, or you know what I mean? Like, it won't beat me. But then if you lean towards more the balance areas, like I have,
Even that offensive team, like the Omastar teams, like those are weak to Kyurem.
yeah, they are. They don't switch into
like,
Kyurem.
That's what I'm
But,
saying. And if you can't KO it back with anything besides.
but you can argue the same thing about Specs Dragapult on these teams too.
Sure, for sure.
And if anything, even a
Yeah,
bigger.
so I agree with you on that, like, because that's something I think of too. Because Specs Dragapult is, in my opinion, the most annoying mon to face. I don't think it's broken
agree.
or
I
suspect
agree.
worthy. But Specs Shadow Ball,
It
I
got
said
really
in my video, I said that I think that that's like the easiest mon to use. And I said if you use Drag, I do think Bandit is great too. After using Bandit more, I gotta respect that set too. But I think Specs Shadow Ball is just so brain dead easy. Like a lot of teams, they use like Key Transpadef, which in my opinion is the best check.
Yeah. But even
It's
then,
just really-
if that gets spit up,
even
drop
that,
plus
yeah,
rocks.
or
up.
people can just run surf. You know, people run surf a lot too, and like a lot of times I see people go to Corv to scout the Shadow Ball, but Flamethrower itself does like 65%. You just gotta play a little offensive. And Dragapult, its bulk is not amazing, but it's not horrible, and its typing is fantastic. Like its
Yeah,
typing is
Dragon Ghost
amazing.
is
It
amazing.
resists
I
so
agree.
much shit.
I
Yeah.
agree. Like,
Ghost Dragon is fantastic typing. Yeah.
it's crazy how Specs is coming back, like as
Yeah,
as
and
the-
I use Modest a lot as well. I like that power boost quite a bit when you just spam Shadow Ball. You gotta go with the speed drop, but you just gotta tailor your team to what works for you.
No, I agree. And anyway,
But yeah, back to
no,
Kyurem.
no. I'm agreeing with you completely. I'm trying to think. Like, I wish there was a middle option between 2 and 3, because I don't think it's broken, and I would also not support any tiering option. But I also think it's. I don't know if generally balanced is the thing I would
Dude,
also.
to me, this is the same mon as like Specs Lele and Specs Scarf Blacephalon and Kartana. Like these are all the same mon to me in my head.
Okay,
That's really how
I think that's a very fair. That's a very fair way.
Yeah,
If-
I see all of those guys as the same type
they can,
of mon.
yeah,
in
they
terms
can
of
get out of
strength.
control.
Like-
but
Like it don't matter what you're using. If you run into a Kartana, like you can get pieced up if
Yeah.
the player plays
Dude,
good enough. Even
both
with a
Scarf
Buzzwole
and Bandit
or
are-
Core, like you can never count your opponent out to like just outplay you as well. You know, and something like Cart and Specs lately, I think Blasef has really rose up as a really great mon. We see it on the ladder so much. I don't think I see it too much in tournament.
but on the ladders everywhere. Specs and Scarf are everywhere. Scarf is very scary because it snowballs just like Scarf Cart does.
Scarf is extremely common now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's really good. Yeah. Once you snowball, you're like, oh, I don't even need Specs. I like both sets for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put it there. I do think it's like balanced in a way. I don't think it's broken.
Yeah.
Like I might say,
Yeah.
oh, this mon's broken when it freezes me in my videos, but like
Yeah.
that's just like
For
talk.
for me personally, yeah, I think on the survey I put entirely balanced, but I don't know. After talking, maybe it's like generally balanced. But for me, yeah, I have no issue with Kyurem. It's just one of those mods that sometimes it's like, oh damn, I'm weak to Kyurem. But
Yeah, but I mean that's just the
whatever.
team I picked at the end of the day, right?
there's ways around
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So this one is really surprising me because how do you feel about Magnet Pull and Sword and Shield OU? So some people like to compare Magnet Pull to both Arena Trap and Shadow Tag.
Shadow Tag, yeah.
I think that's inherently wrong though, because Shadow Tag, at least in Shadow Tag's case, obviously there's the difference is that you're actually trapping Steel types versus you're trapping every Pokemon or grounded Pokemon, right? I think one of the issues with this is that Magnezone has the ability to lose to all the mons it traps. So, for instance, if Skarm body presses Magnezone on the switch-in, and Skarm can be faster as well, Magnezone will get 2-hit KO'd, and only Specs will knock out Skarm. Corviknight not only can do the exact same thing, and only Specs will knock out Corviknight, but also there are stall teams and balance teams that run fast Corviknight as a means to obviously outspeed
Yeah,
Magnezone and you turn out.
Magnezone.
Yeah, exactly. And then even Ferrothorn, if Magnezone comes in, if Magnezone's not running Expert Belt for one, and it comes in on body press, it needs plus
Also,
6 to
like,
KO.
I feel like I've rarely seen Magnezone come in on Ferrothorn, and if it beats Ferrothorn, which it usually does, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
It leaves at like 20%.
Yeah, so it can't do its job as a.
Which is like, okay, that's a 1-for-1 trade. If you lose because you lost your Ferrothorn immediately, what kind of team is that? Like, I don't know. Like Magnezone, this really surprised me that Magnet Pull was being asked about, especially in this metagame with no hidden power.
Yeah.
This Iron
Right.
Defense body press is pretty decent. I've used Assault Vest as well. I don't think I've actually used Choiced.
I think
really
I used
at all.
Specs before when Spadef Corviknight was being used a little bit more
Sure.
over Fizdef, but I don't think it's like very strong. And like even like I said, in Ferrothorn's case, if it's Fizdef Ferrothorn, plus 4 Magnezone doesn't even KO at body press. Like you need plus 6 or you need
Yeah.
extra belt. And some of the extra belt sets run discharge, which don't even kill Corviknight. I don't know. It's just
sorry. This is off topic, but another one I wanted to compare to Kyurem and all them.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Melmetal. And I was
Oh,
surprised
yeah,
he
agreed.
was not brought up. I think I might be alone in that opinion, that he's like one of the best, if not even possibly suspect worthy, but we can get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
But I just want to bring that up in terms
No,
of
that's
like,
an interesting
super
one.
powerful family of Mons. Yeah.
It's funny because that's also a mon that low key can go 1-for-1 versus every single one of the mons you mentioned before, right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Lele,
That's- yeah,
Kyurem,
that's
even
that's one of the
Blisef.
best Mons ever.
Yeah.
That guy, Aegislash, like those like type of like Mons that usually trade, if not get like 1.5 kills for 1 kill.
Yeah.
Like those are like perfect Mons to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree completely. But yeah, back to Magnet Pull. I don't know. I think that there's obviously we didn't even mention Shed Shell. I don't think Shed Shell is a really good item, but you can talk about your Shed Shell Ferrothorn.
Sure.
But I don't think it's a good.
I use Shed Shell Ferrothorn an okay amount, which is, of course is only for Magnezone, because I mean it's not like it's for Magma Storm. But yeah, Magnezone. Yeah, I use it for Magnezone. It's pretty good because you can obviously just destroy all Magnezone teams with it. That's just the situation with my team. So I guess some people would say that is restricting, and I guess that is something I do think about in terms of Magnezone. I'm like, I guess that does make sense. But I'm still not leaning towards this thing being broken. If they want to suspect it, of course, it's got to be like a metagame's decision and
Yeah.
people who play its decision. So if they suspect it, I'd be really interested. But I would really not want it to be banned personally. I really don't consider it broken. But maybe, I don't know, maybe I've just played with Magnet Pull so much for so many years that I'm just like a sheep. And I'm like, it's meant to be. It's meant to be.
I feel like if there was any metagame where Magnet Pull was broken, it's probably like Advanced. Personally, that's my thoughts on at least that. But when it comes to here,
To me, when that shit was broken, that shit is so horrible in Gen 5
Yeah,
unless it's on Drag Mag.
yeah.
And then in Gen 6, it was broken because I'd always run it with Metagross and Clef.
of course.
Yeah, I have like 87% Magnezone.
Gen 6, bro, Magnezone don't always be running Choice Scarf.
Gen 7 let me get all my hit videos off because Magnezone would trap the Mons and then I would sweep with Sceptile. Yeah,
it is
You gotta go.
definitely it is definitely. But I mean, you in that case, like you compare it to Tapu Fini and Heatran in the
I mean,
sense, right?
dude, it's just funny to see
it's-
how. Sorry, keep
No,
going. Keep
no,
going.
no, I was gonna say
Sorry,
it's a
sorry.
trapper that allows you to use other Pokemon to your advantage, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessary to beat the teams, and I don't think it's so
Yeah.
overpowered that oh my god, I'm running this. Like I said before, I don't think Shed Shell is a good item personally because everything gets knocked off, right? If I have Shed Shell and Corviknight and they have a Weavile plus Magnezone, I cannot let
Yeah, or like knockoff Corv or knockoff Pharaoh. It's
or
like,
knock
bro,
off
sometimes
Tox,
we're
but
running-
everything. Yeah,
We're
literally.
running like 3-4 knockoff mons, and then at what point it's like, yo, what is this? Like, yeah, cart. What do you run core for? Literally for cart, and then you get knocked off, and it's
Yep.
like, oh shit.
Yep, that's it, and then you don't lose to it. So I don't know. I don't think it's like I think it's balanced, and I would not support any further discussion. As in, like,
I think there's a lot of mons that destroy this shit too. Like, I don't know. And it's interesting to think like how Magnezone has evolved over the like metagames or generations. Like when it used to check cart back in Gen 7,
Yep.
it would be Scarf. Now, I mean,
you
I've
can run
never seen
Chopple.
Scarf.
You can run Chopple, but
Yeah,
if you want-
Chopple is what I think is great. I've seen cuss that before too. I like Chopple for sure though. I've used that to trade versus Shifu and stuff.
I actually like one of my favorite ones is the Assault Vest variant. So it takes on Heatran's Earth Powers and
Heatran,
Magma
and then
Storm,
it can,
and then you kill that.
Miracle.
See, I think that's a kill that's definitely worth because Heatran, similarly to Corviknight, can check a million mons in the metagame, right?
We played some guy in vid, and it was like 20 minutes. 20 minutes of stealth rocking on Mirror Code. Terrible. but I couldn't go out. I couldn't go out like that.
Wait, did you beat him 1v1?
Yeah.
Nice.
He ended up switching himself.
Oh,
So
no.
He spared me. He spared me. And he like vote switched out. I'm like, oh, buddy, I don't think you understand. You did me a favor.
I would say it's generally. I don't know if I.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. See, I would say it's generally balanced, but I would listen to further conversation. Would be it. Like I would listen to people, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's
agree.
uncompetitive. Like so, I'm gonna lean towards that. Which statements most accurately describes how you feel about Heatran and Sword and Shield OU? Okay, so Heatran is not is
That shit is annoying. It's annoying since the day it came out in
yeah,
2009.
that Pokemon is bro. That Pokemon is comparable to Shadow Tag, Arena Trap, and Magnet.
For like 15 years. Magma Storm back in Gen 4, you did it in Gen 5. You can literally look at my Smogon tournament games, and I brought a Magma Storm Heatran in every single Gen.
It's amazing. It's
5,
amazing.
6,
It's
and
literally
7
what it
back when
does.
I played.
It was stronger in Gen 4 too. Like that's the thing. Like
it was busted in Gen 7 too with the Z move Inferno Overdrive.
Yep.
This guy is always going to be at the top of the metagame.
Yep.
Like it's impossible for this guy to not be at the top.
It is a Pokemon that can beat all of its quote unquote counters.
He's like one of the most fun mons ever.
Yeah.
This mon is such bullshit. It's unkillable. It's stupidly strong. Its typing is broken. It's unkillable for real. It's so strong. Yeah.
Just that
I
little
don't
leftovers
understand.
recovery,
It's like
bro.
the perfect mon. And he also lives every move ever. Like people be I've seen so many games where it's like Kyurem leads off versus this thing. The Kyurem's not specs, it earth powers, and the dude sets up rocks. And I'm like, yo, you're crazy. You're crazy.
This was the good play. But yeah, it has a lot as well. I definitely think Flash Fire is the ability to use, by the way, just on the topic of Heatran itself. I know people might be like, duh, but I've seen way too many people in the previous World Cup lose to Volcarona because their Heatran was Flame Body. But I've also seen it like on
I
Heatrans
feel you on
performance.
that. I'm really not a fan of
Flame Body Heatran.
myself. Yeah, I understand why, like when it works and it's great, but I don't know. I really like Flash Fire just for Volk. I don't even think Volk's that great, but I don't know. I be panicking. I like Flash Fire for that, and also I like switching into Heatran myself.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I don't like getting Magma Stormed by opposing Heatran. One of the things, I don't think it's evil, but the way I describe it is a necessary, like not evil, but like a necessary Pokemon itself. Just because it's what it checks. Like it checks the entire metagame, it glues everything, and it makes things not be broken as well, which I think is really important as well. Like this mon being around, keeps Volk.
I also don't think this thing is like broken that it like just beats everything either.
It can lose to everything that it can beat to. Like it can lose to Ferrothorn, dude. If they knock off your leftovers, that's your recovery. That's it.
Body press on the switch to max HP Tran does like 50%.
Exactly. A Clef can beat it later.
Every single time I've knocked off a Heatran on the switch, in my head I'm like, all right, like I won.
It's
like
dead.
Literally
I'm
literally like, okay, this is dead.
Yeah.
That's literally why it's so annoying because it just heals back.
When you knock off its
leftovers,
leftovers,
no leftovers.
Yeah, that's it.
It literally feels like it dropped to like RE.
Bro, I can start spamming Ice Beam with Kyurem. Yeah, that's it. I think it's entirely balanced. I think it's entirely balanced.
It also gives free switch-ins to stuff like Urshifu, Dragonite, which has 100% Earthquake usage, Landers, which is also Spadef nowadays, Tapu Fini, Garchomp, which has great usage. A lot of mons have coverage for it too. Zero Aura, Close Combat, Cortana Sacred Sword, Tapu Lele.
Literally every mon in the metagame, basically, because even Corvies can body press and just do chip.
Stuff like Melmetal, which is a lot of times AV, easily trades. Cooks
even Spadef trades versus
Spadef trades too,
and that's another thing. Maybe if Heatran had 100% accurate Magma Storms and Toxics, maybe it'd be broken, but it doesn't.
Yeah, that's facts. Magma Storm does not have good accuracy. People need to remember that too. That's not a move with good accuracy.
So I think it's entirely balanced. I don't think Heatran. I don't think it's at a point. It's not even Heatran. It's not even at its best because of the. There's a lack of Gliscor, so you could argue it's at its best. But the lack of Z moves to actually get your kills.
It's not that strong. It's really not that strong. I have a team with Dragon Pulse Heatran right now. Defensive. That shit is tough for the Dragon Pulse out there.
Won't you beat them anyway with Magma Storm and Earth Power?
Yeah, but Pulse like instantly finishes it. I don't have like any good ghost resist, so
okay, that's
it's
fair.
a good. It's a necessary.
That's fair.
I guess that proves that Dragon Pulse broken. Now that we're running Dragon type Heatrans out there.
Which statement most accurately describes how you feel about Weavile?
Yeah, so that thing ran to the top, but it does it every metagame, every gen. It runs to the top and then it goes back down when people are like, yeah, it's good, but it's not that good.
I don't think it's like busted at all. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really good. I have quite a few teams with it. I think it's great, but I don't
Knockoff is
think it's
amazing.
busted.
Yeah, knockoff is incredible, but it doesn't. Everything that it can beat it. For one, it can't come in for free. I think boots obviously made a huge difference in terms of playing
Boots is
swords
pretty
and
cool.
experience. Yeah, I don't know.
Which is pretty cool for sure.
Bandit has the same weakness as Kyurem, right? Stealth rock.
I
That's
would
pretty
compare it to Kyurem too.
Yeah.
In fact, I like it just as much as Kyurem.
Yeah.
If not even probably more than Kyurem personally. I do like Kyurem, but I find SD Weavile to be comparable, if not better, because it has priority. But that's just me.
It's weird though because if you're using SD,
for me, I probably like Weavile more.
if you're using SD and you're trying to sweep versus a team like Pex or Ferrothorn or Corvi, you have to be very careful with your knockoffs too.
Yeah,
because-
well, I think Pex is the worst one.
Yeah.
The other two you can beat, but Pex is the worst one for sure. I agree. You gotta definitely figure that out. I like Bandit too, but I don't use Bandit too much.
I think a lot of that has to do with
I do
the
think
triple
it's
axle
great.
also. Not
Yeah. I think you should run Icicle Crash. Someone gave me a team with that, and I was like, that's pretty good. But I mean, losing triple axle sucks too.
Yeah, in East,
the helmet.
we use Swords Dance Wide Lens, and we also used on Bandit. We use Icicle Crash, Triple Axle, Ice Shard, and Knockoff. So we use them all.
I mean, yeah, that's I totally get that too, because Bandit Icicle Crash is extremely strong, and you need a move that has like decent accuracy. But Bandit Triple Axle is stupid. Like that
Yeah,
can kill card
it's
at
good.
like 90 something.
On the that one team that I really liked that I used with Melmetal and SD Weavile, so it was SD Life Form Adamant Weavile, and the ability to you basically knock out Corviknight with triple axle if it's Fizz Def.
Okay.
So it opens up for Melmetal, opens up for Bandit Dragonite, which were on that team. So there's like I don't like Life Form much because I don't like Pokemon that are losing their health for something, especially on like Rocky Helmets on.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you're not even doing that much damage overall, but on that particular side, I like it. I don't think Weavile's broken.
Yeah.
If Pursuit was in the metagame, this would be a different question. But I don't think it's broken. I don't think
it's really good. I think it's probably the best of the mons that were listed here, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's or Dragapult is the best.
Yeah, Dragapult's about to come up, but
yeah, I like it a lot. I do think it's good. I understand how it can get past even its offensive checks. I don't think it's broken.
I also just like the fact that it's keeping ghost types at bay, like itself, which I like a lot. Like as a dark type in OU,
it has a good management in the metagame. But yeah, I'm not convinced it's broken just yet, or suspect test worthy. It's good though for sure.
It's balanced. All right, Pult. This is the big one. How Pult is right now. I agree that Specs got a lot better. And I think a lot of the shifts have to do with the fact that, first off, we don't have Urshifu Dark anymore. We don't have, obviously, Pursuit, but we already know that they've been the biggest thing forever. Yeah. Mandibuzz has fallen off in usage. I don't even think Mandibuzz was that great of a check to pull because you just get knocked off anyway and take Stealth Rock and you're forced to roost every
Draco does so much damage anyway.
Even if you're Spadef.
They run Thunderbolt. They run Thunderbolt sometimes. I got a team with Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
I got so many Pult teams. But yeah, I don't know. I think Pult is incredibly good.
Really
so
good.
many different sets. DD is really good as well. I've been struck by Dragon Ass more times than I can remember, especially just because I don't consider it, and then it's a damn threat. The typing, like we said, is amazing. Pult is pretty versatile too. You can even get messed up. I've lost to that Will-O-Wisp Thunderwave set recently.
Which is something you don't see as much actually.
Yeah, because now that everyone spams Feeny, I was like, why would you ever run this? But I think Specs, Bandit, and DD are all really just good. You just always get a lot out of those mons.
Specs is just so spammable.
Yeah, Specs takes no skill, and it also has so much reward. Like all you do is click Shadow Ball and
get Spadef drop.
You literally have to play. You have to make one correct play. Literally, if Specs Dragapult versus Rain, what do they do? You just Shadow Ball and you kill everybody. Literally, if you want, you can turn your brain on and Flamethrower as they go to Ferrothorn on the first turn. Because the rain is up, and then you 70%, and then they
lose later. Shadow Ball,
1000%. And the same, I guess, goes for the same doesn't even go for stuff like Kyurem because I played Rain with Scizor, but I don't know.
I think that its abilities do so much for it too, right? Obviously, Clear Body is amazing.
Yeah,
Dragon
Clear Body
Dance,
is amazing, and Infiltrator is crazy good too.
It's so nice,
especially in this metagame where everybody's running Lander, so that's 50% usage. It's nice to have Clear Body. a lot of times I'm like screwed up by that because I'm like, oh shit, I can't even intimidate this. It's literally about to sweep my ass, and I gotta hold that.
I do think even though Phantom Force is its move, it's still annoying to pivot around.
Yeah.
But it is beatable in that regard.
There's some creative sets. I remember I played one guy. He had sub disable, but then it only had dragon darts.
Oh, I have
or
that.
it only had that, or it only had Phantom Force. Either way, it lost because I had a Snorlax, so I just kept getting HP back. Right? He had Phantom Force. I think he had sub disable Phantom Force, so my Snorlax got back to 100%. And then he got PP stalled and forfeited. I was like, that's tough, but
it's literally the fact that its best move, Shadow Ball, has the chance to Spadef drop, and it's so spammable. There's no
yeah. I've had games where I won like that. Like they went to Pex, I dropped. They went to Corv, I dropped.
Drop, and then that's it.
I dropped.
Yeah,
and in my head, I'm like, wow, you got robbed so bad. In my head, I'm like, wow, you literally just lost already because all your mons are low, and now my guy in the back will just win. Like it's that situation definitely happens a lot. It's a really easy breaker.
I love double ghosts too. Pulp plus Blacephalon are like they're really fun.
Yeah, my favorite check to that shit is T-Tar because T-Tar gets up rocks to limit it, and T-Tar gets up sand to limit it, and T-Tar just switches in 100,000 times. So that thing always just, by the time you finally lose your T-Tar to it, the pulse should be nearly dead. So I usually like that the most if I had to pick.
Do you think it's broken at all?
Pult?
Yeah.
I think it's the only one that I would even consider suspect testing. And then after that, we vow. But no, I don't think it's broken.
I don't like that we don't have that option. That I think it's okay, but I really don't like that because that's the same thing with. I would not be against to at least us testing it and then seeing how the overall mass feel. But I guess that's why they have these anyway. But I don't see it like as something that's inherently broken. Like oh man, this is such a game. I also don't. While it's still great, it's not used as much as it was before. You know, like let me see if I can get the. Let me see if I can find the usage stats real quick from K. If we look at OU, actually, damn, it still used 22% on ladder. Never mind, I didn't realize it was number 2. I just don't see it as much in the top, but damn, okay, that one's number 2. Never mind, forget what I was saying. It's not used as much, meaning it's not number 1 anymore. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like this month, I don't think it's unbalanced. I don't not support tiering, so I'm kind of like sticking to the same thing with these, you know, like it's generally balanced. I don't, guys. Next time put like this, but it's okay if it gets tiering. Is there anything else not mentioned that you would like to see the council look into the future? Anything you like?
I put her Shifu, but then said it's not broken anyway. But I just said that's like the other guy that like you could consider. If you want to talk about mons that are like annoying.
What about mons you bring back?
I think your Shifu's up there for sure. Yeah, to me that's always been a mon that's like, if you play well with that mon, it's like free wins. Future Sight plus teleport still exists. I don't know. Yeah, I've always thought that guy was one of the best, if not. Like he's better than everybody that they asked us about in my opinion.
I agree.
I even think Cart is better than most of those mons. Not that I think Cart's broken, but yeah.
It's so easy to
win. I mean, everyone has their own metagame opinions. Obviously, it's all subjective too. So,
I like how Tornadus was in the previous one, but it's not in this one at all anymore. So that's which I find pretty interesting. But I mean, that's another mon.
Like defog defensive Torn.
That was another mon that like it'd be broken.
Torn is broken if Hurricane and Focus Blast don't miss, and you have nasty plot. It's literally broken.
Yeah, if it hits,
it's actually broken. Yeah, like I would actually ban that if those moves never missed, because I've lost to that so many times. Because it just doesn't miss, and it's like, oh, this is unkillable, and it's faster than everybody.
You know, I've been using Assault Vest Torn like it was Gen 6 again.
I've played that before, and it's really good for sure.
It's not like being able to. I mean, just leading off with it comfortably versus like a Kyurem, or
you can lead off versus everything.
Yeah, and literally just not. Everything. Yep. That's the best thing. Yeah,
for sure. It's really bulky. You can still retain a lot of speed too. Still checking Rilla booms and stuff like that. I mean, Torn defensive is one of the best. It's really satisfying mon to use.
Is there anything
you get a lot of mileage out of it?
You test though?
I don't use it too much. What'd you say?
Is there anything in Ubers that you test back, like Spectre A or
let me look at Ubers.
Dracovish, Darmanitan, Mag, Ace,
Dre. Alright, let me look up the Ubers too. Look at the let me see if I test anybody.
Zamazenta or Shifu, Solgaleo, you know, like things like
I'm just looking at these guys and I'm thinking to myself like, Cinderace, this guy was so stupidly broken. I never want him back. He was just so broken. Like there's no argument.
Bro, I just want to play a Darmanitan meta where we have like Slowbro and things to sit on in Mel meta.
Yeah. Bring back Darmanitan. You won't even hear the word Weavile or Kyurem again in your life.
I'm not arguing that it will be won't be busted.
I'm not telling you. I'm just saying in general. Yeah, I don't know if anything is really worth testing. Everybody looks pretty
nasty.
Pretty OP.
Still.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always been of the opinion that we should be retesting Kyurem White, but nobody is on my side.
Oh, I'm always on your side, bro. Kyurem White's the reason why Assault Vest Azu existed in Gen 6.
Magirna and all them are stupidly.
We don't need mag back.
Stupidly broken.
I still would like to test like a random Solgaleo. I don't think that mon would be broken. 137 attack, 137 attack, bro. But it can only calm mine, man. It can't bulk up.
Bro, he has
amazing moves, dude. Knockoff, Psychic Fairy.
Yeah, he has good moves. And he still has his super special move or whatever, the Sunsteel Strike. I know that move is crazy. And what's full metal body? You can't get stat lowered.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
So we're piecing up. Yeah, so one weakness policy, it's over for you.
It'd be fast metal.
Yeah, I really can't see anything I would retest. I mean, like even stuff like Pheromosa, they got a lot of new tools that made them really, really strong. And just in general, those mons aren't really healthy for the metagame. Like they're just like too much.
Do you think Spectrier would be too much just because of its ability still?
Oh yeah, Spectrier. I mean, if we're talking about Dragapult and shit, Spectrier is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Spectrier. Never bring him back.
It's the same thing. Just
that mon is pure evil. That is a godless mon.
Also, that mon was around in Urshifu metagame. Like, keep that in mind too. Like,
dude, we had so much fun. I remember there were so many games where like they'd switch into Urshifu, and then Shadow Ball would do 51%. And it's like, oh, will you sucker punch here? But if I switch, you lose. If I stay in and I kill you, you'll also lose. So what do you do? I remember that situation happened so much.
That mon was great.
And then we'd be running Mud Shot for them Heatrans and them T-Tars. Boom. Mud Shot and Will-O-Wisp. And Uproar. Good times.
Good times indeed.
The coverage is crazy. Y'all wouldn't get it.
Let's test it. I'll always put Darmanitan. I just want it to be tested. I don't agree that or disagree that it will be broken, but I think it's okay to be tested. Any comments or suggestions, concerns? Leave an option that says you think something is okay, but wouldn't be. Damn it. What did I do wrong? Oh, whatever. I don't care. Wouldn't be against a test. Do you mean any of the following tournaments? One or more game of World Cup 2021. Did I play this year? No. Qualify for OLT. I definitely didn't play that. Qualify for Smogon Tour. Nope. Yep. Click X friend. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I'm trying to think like if there's anything. I don't know, I think a lot of the new tools in the metagame are pretty good and make a lot of mons viable.
And it's not like people aren't innovating
like heavy
anymore.
duty boots, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm fine with the metagame. I think it's pretty fun. I think we're at that point in the metagame where a lot of creative stuff works too. There's definitely annoying stuff. I understand that ice types are really annoying. I agree. But too bad. You already got Darmanitan. So it's just too bad. But no. Yeah, other than maybe Dragapult and Urshifu, who again I don't really support a suspect test for. But it's all it's all with the player-based things. I would be really interested if we had a suspect test and people supported its removal, and then I'd be like interested in.
Remember National Decks? Remember playing National Decks without Dragapult? It was pretty freeing. But
that's because it had the Z move.
Z move, which made it.
Yeah, that's literally why.
Yeah.
Without the Z move, it's not broken. In my opinion, at least. I remember that's why we kept losing.
No, I agree. We kept winning and losing with that. Like that was the only thing we lost to most of the time.
Yeah, screens plus. Yeah, you should be happy. There's no Z move. Phantom Force.
Z moves are broken. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that's basically all it. Let us know your thoughts. I'll leave the survey down below. Make sure you check out Blunder because his channel link will be down below as well. And ideally, we'll be having a video on his channel too, either today or tomorrow or whatever time. I mean, and like I said, we got a collab coming real soon. It's gonna be fun. It's not a new season of Megas to High Ladder or BL Nights just because we did those recently. But yeah, we'll see that. And I think Blunder got merch coming soon too. So we'll see you guys. Any closing words, my friend?
No. I hope y'all enjoyed.
Peace.
And we about to do a vid on my channel.
Yep.
Peace.